swimming the forbidden zone. They were captured by the shrewdness of apes. But what the hell is the shrewdness of apes? And why is Taylor wearing a man frock and saying city looks like Fraggle Rock? Did the Chambers, did the Insulin, Mr. Spock? These are just the facts we try not to mock on. The minute of the apes. 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 Yeah!
Hello and welcome to Minute of the Apes, the daily podcast where we break down every minute of the Planet of the Apes movies 1 minute at a time. I'm your host, Todd. Across from me today, I'm not even going to start with Sean. I'm just going to say I got the guys across from me. That way you both got your days. And I'm going to say that Richard, Sean,
Ron.
There are so many different variants of it.
It's
Sean and Richard and Richard and Sean.
There it is. That's what I wanted. They're the guys
You got
across
your Richard into my Sean. No, you got your Sean into my Richard.
When you have three people, you got to find a way to make everybody equal, right?
Right.
Yes.
So we are in the Friday edition. I'm going to take the time real quick up top to do the housekeeping so we don't have to do it at the end. We started the week thanking everybody. There are a ton of other minute-by-minute family people out there who are breaking movies down. I know there are movies anywhere from The Godfather, Star Wars, Back to the Future, Groundhog Day. And in fact, we're a member of...
Is it just the same repeating
thing,
minute?
yeah. So we're a part of a group on Facebook where we get to see these, and it's literally every day you'll see somebody saying, hey, has this been done? Has that been done? The Matrix is out there. There are a ton of them, and you can go to moviesbyminute.com, I believe is the URL, and you can find a list and links to them. Go check these people out. They're doing great work. They're doing the same thing, and if you like movies the way we do, you're going to want to listen to this because
Gives you new insights, that's for sure.
it gives you new insights, and this is the way I felt. Even though we may be dogging Planet of the Apes occasionally about things, we love this
We're
movie.
enjoying it.
Yes.
And we're trying to at least poke the holes in it and have fun with it. So go explore that. Go listen to them. Make sure you follow and subscribe every one of those guys. And when you're done, come back and subscribe to us if you haven't already done it. So with that out of the way, I'm going to say here we are in minute 54 through 55. We begin with Taylor and our space hoochie, the blood donor, our unnamed savage woman, whatever you want to call her, spooning in the cage, and it ends with Taylor running into the ape city as he escapes. So, Sean?
We got still 2 living humans, 2 dead humans, a shrewdness of apes, and a gaggle of humanoids.
Your running count,
Uh-huh.
it's going to come to a point where you've got something you got to put in there, and I hope you're going to see it. I can't say anything because you've not seen the rest of this
I haven't
movie.
seen it yet.
Okay.
All right.
So,
How long has Taylor been in here? Because they're saying his throat is almost healed. So
oh, did they say that?
yeah, at the beginning of it, they say that his throat's almost healed. So,
Is that in the script?
The only thing it says in the script that I've got here is after he is hauled away, it jumps to Animal Compound Full Shot Day. So we don't know how long it's lasted. I mean, there's possibility he's been in there for a while, but that means that whatever Zira has planned or Cornelius has planned doesn't happen. I mean, I suppose we could jump ahead and see where they are at this moment, but we don't know how long he's been in there.
I don't think they've been in there long. You start thinking about what Zaius wants, how he wants to put an end to this conversation. The actions that we're about to describe in here have that feeling of immediacy that this is a plan that's come down. So let's go ahead and talk about do you want to read what it tells us that the apes tell us they're going to do with Taylor at this point?
Yeah.
Okay, so the ape lieutenant says we kicked off last minute ended last minute. We're taking number 4 over to surgery in 5 minutes. Have him ready. So surgery has been planned. Somebody planned surgery. Something's happening. Julia says, "How come the beast's throat is nearly healed?"
See? There we
Okay,
go.
he does say that.
And lieutenant says, "It's not his throat this time. The vet's going to geld him."
Oh, okay, right there. So we know he is getting the nip tuck.
To which Julius is kind of like, oh, well, you're going to be gelded. It's a living.
Well,
But
Julius does say Zira won't like it. She wants this pair to mate.
And Taylor doesn't like it either because he is laying there still until he hears that and he kind of raises his
Yeah,
head up
that
like,
got his
hang
attention.
on,
What?
you're not doing that.
He gave a good reaction face to that.
Yes.
The lieutenant explains that these orders actually came from Dr. Zaius himself. So there's some time things that we're wondering. So Zira early on put unnamed savage woman into his cage, right? Because
Almost as a treat. Yes.
or a gift. Was she intending at that point to mate? Because clearly at this point Julius knows that they want that she wants them to mate.
Right.
Right? I find it fascinating, and I feel like that might be something missing in the lead up to what Taylor means to Zaius. But if you're
To Zaius or to Zira?
Zaius. If
Okay.
you're Zaius,
Mm-hmm.
do you just want to castrate him?
Oh, no, you want to kill him.
Right.
Okay,
So
but-
why does Zaius want
Well-
to send him off to have him killed?
Well, for all you,
Because it actually poses the immediate question that I waited purposely in the last one to bring up this discussion. And I know something we have to wait until we get to the end of it that I know is part of the production. His biggest fear is not just Taylor teaching them something, because let's be honest, if they're mute, can they be taught? There's that immediate thing. Can they be taught to speak? Can they be taught to think on their own? Can they be taught to be independent?
can you breed
No.
more smarter ones? Yeah.
But he can breed, and there's at least a 50-50 shot that his genetics are going to pass along, and suddenly you have evolved man.
All right.
So I think that is his biggest fear.
So, okay. So at this point, what we're saying is that Zaius never believed in the paper airplane. Zaius never believed that Taylor was from some other place.
Well, Zaius doesn't know about Taylor being from some other
I
place.
guess that's true.
He
Yeah,
just
that's true.
has
He
seen the
doesn't
paper
know.
airplane, and
Well,
is that true? Does he know?
The unusual costumes, the unusual things.
Did they not say at any points in the minute he claims to be from another planet? They don't ever
They
tell
didn't.
him.
no,
he wasn't there for any of the conversation.
All he knows is this is potentially from the unintelligent humanoids that are out there. One has raised up, and it's
So
now
for all he knows is he came through the Forbidden Zone, someplace far away, wandered here, stumbled.
he doesn't
in
even
sea, for
know
all
if he
knows.
came from the Forbidden
I
Zone.
just-
He just knows that he showed up in a cage and is acting much more. He wrote something down in
Right.
sand, so he knows he can write. He doesn't know his origin.
I just it really kind of speaks to this that Zaius, as much as we might have hypothesized,
Mhm.
that Zaius doesn't know anything
except for Taylor can write.
except for Taylor could potentially have smart. He might be smarter than he is, and he shouldn't have any offspring.
So
Because I
there-
would want him dead.
Yeah.
If he's going to threaten my society, I'd want him out of there.
That's true. The true way to gild him is to kill him.
Right.
Well, for all we know, Zaius has plans to do experiments on him to find out what makes him different from everybody else.
So what's he going to do? Cut off his balls and do experiments with his balls? That suddenly
No, no.
sounds like a Mel Brooks moment.
Yeah, he's going to cut off his balls
His
just
balls.
to make him more docile.
Right.
Because I'm sure this is not the
Okay.
first one that they've done that to. You may have more aggressive males that they've gelded before to make them more calm, and then he can run his tests that he needs to do,
Right.
whether or not that involves surgery on the brain
So-
or other things.
Does he want the gelding to happen so quickly because he's afraid of him mating with unknown savage woman before he can actually kill?
I think there has to be. To me, that's so implied that. Why is it important? I
We have
like
five.
it.
We've taken. He's going to surgery in 5 minutes. We got
Uh-huh.
to get him out here and get this guy snipped before he causes us any intelligent humans.
Right, and he knows that he's being stuck into a cage with it now. You could also say Dr. Zaius could say remove the woman from the cage.
For all
turn the
we
price
know,
on killing him at this moment.
Taylor and the unknown woman have actually been mating before, and he's seen that happen, and he's going to.
Boy, he has no scruples. He just moves in right away on Space Hoochie.
I
and
mean,
goes
we
to
have
town.
he's been long enough there that his throat is healed, almost healed. So we don't know what kind of interactions he's been having, and
True.
so Zaius is maybe seeing. Wait, there's the potential that there might be an offspring off this. We need to stop that at least right now.
Not revealing too much. It's, with Julius saying his throat is nearly healed is relevant later on.
That's true, because I didn't notice it in watching the minute that he said it, and it does become important soon, so they've at least...
They're establishing the fact that whether that moment had been, that time was just overnight or several days or whatever, we're kind of moving into the fact that Taylor might actually be
So
able
it
to
comes
do
again,
more.
what the hell happened to his throat that he suddenly
How
can't
he
talk? and now-
magically got shot, and the way that damages it so he can't talk, but it doesn't rip over his entire throat and kill him. Yeah.
Yeah. And you guys may tell me I'm jumping ahead, but you kind of mentioned it too. Seriously, Julius is the biggest moron in this whole thing. The baseline thinker of, if you only knew what they're going to do to you, and giggles
And
like
he-
a
yeah.
child.
I had slight glee is what I had.
If you only knew Bright Eyes. So he's adopted. He's
The
not
name.
calling him number 4.
Yeah.
He's adopted what Zira calls him, Bright Eyes.
And is that his way of demeaning that Zira calls him that? Because
Maybe.
in my opinion, there are moments where Julius has been a little contradictory to her, even though she obviously holds the upper hand and tells him what to do. He speaks back to her, telling her that she has to understand them.
And he's one beat on her prized subject, and when he gets in the cage with him.
There was kind of a weird moment with a choreography of this scene where Julius comes in and is kind of standing over him, and he's got the club out like he's going to kind of knock him out and put a leash on him. And we know as the scene unfolds that Taylor's actually about to take control of the situation, but it looks like Taylor's kind of letting this happen as if, okay, I'm going to be submissive. Nope, I got you. Yeah. But it just unfolded kind of in a very awkward manner.
Yeah,
it does.
That's why I had a note on here. Why was Taylor hunkered over like that?
But I thought it was kind of odd. The lieutenant said, "We're taking number 4 over to surgery in 5 minutes. Have him ready," and they walk out.
Yeah.
Like they're no longer in that scene. They're no longer in that area. Like, get him ready. We're going to get coffee.
Well, you look at one of them is eating during the scene too.
He is eating. Yeah,
and he pushes his makeup.
He mashes his makeup in while he's trying to get the food into his mouth.
He actually wants to put it in his actual human mouth, so he smashes the snout and it kind of crinkles in.
And I also want to know what they were actually eating for that scene.
It's got to be like saltine crackers or something.
So we're getting a setup with the fact that the lieutenants actually get to leave.
Well, they had to leave because when Taylor breaks out, he's not going to be able to defeat all three of them.
He overcomes Julius, knocks him out, leaves the cage door open, leaves unknown savage woman behind. Whatever. Clearly, he wasn't that excited. He's like, bye, and runs out. And it's just kind of this, like, I have a moment. I've got to get away. I see this. Whatever I felt about unnamed savage woman, she can stay. I'm not taking her with me. I got to get away from this situation.
Right.
It's really convenient that they were dialing that in with the lieutenants actually leaving. And not
it goes into what we kind of talked about before. How was he dejected from all of this? What was he? Maybe he's just laying in wait for his moment. That's what he was hoping. He was hoping to find that moment that he could overpower someone. And Julius had been the ass that had beaten him before, and he took that moment and.
In an earlier minute, Julius had a problem unlocking the gate. This one, he got the key in there nice and easy. And then whenever Taylor leaves, he takes the key with him, but never uses it to unlock the next door to get out or any other time. He just takes the key with him, runs outside, and literally throws the key away.
The script says that there is some movement with Taylor using the keys to try and get in and out of doors. So
they never show that.
They never. No, it looks like he just walks out.
Yeah.
It does. Even with him taking the keys, you never see him use it. But the script kind of gives you direction as it is. It may have been one of the things that unfolded where they couldn't actually do those things.
Right.
You can't shoot those. We can't film it. We can't get it done. You've talked about how brightly lit the sets are.
Right.
You're not going to get that tight moments of them moving in with.
You're looking at kind of what Sean said in previous moments where these would be one shots. Where it was literally almost like a TV stage system where the camera might move with the actors, but
it would pan or something, but that's about it.
Right. You're going to basically have their blocking take them to point A and B, and they walk to it, but the camera stays with it, and it's all done within the camera, one shot. Saves money, better for production.
Quicker, yeah.
You're not going to suddenly change your production style and go to, because nowadays you would have
5 or 6 shots
and him coming over and looking back on his shoulder and fumbling with the key and going. You would have these succession of shots, and it's the changing of film language, but it is not here.
Taylor got to do his patented forearm smash on the back of Julius to knock him down.
Well,
at some point, the three of us are just going to stand here and hit each other on the back and see if anybody passes out.
It'll be me.
It was just kind of a messy little scene. He runs out. He leaves the cage door open.
Yeah.
Unknown savage woman doesn't care. She's just going to stay.
Yeah. Well, she's probably seen so many beings. If you go back to inside the weird monkey bar cage, she was very passive and hung back in that too, as well as the other savages.
She's afraid of abuse. She's
right.
Getting,
she's been there. She's seen the whipping. She's seen them hung on the weird X's out by the.
She stays in this cage. She's getting fed.
Right. Yeah. She's taken care of, and she gets to keep her space bikini.
Yeah.
Right.
Exactly.
She gets to hunker.
We see the other human kind of up on the cage, railing around. He's excited about this action. He's making noises. He's seeing kind of the rebellious moment. He's excited.